This is about destiny right here. Moving into destiny, you planning here. And by the time the 6 months is up, there's action. You got 2, 3, and 4 here. And that's a true progression, moving from the twos where you're planning into the threes where there's action, into the fours where there's where it comes in for you. That's what this whole incubation period is about right here. Learning to be open to receive. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. A lot of you are sewing up the end of an era where you didn't know how to receive. This could be money, it could be love, it could be healing energy. Hello, everybody. This is a collective message for those who are feeling the weight of the world right now. Okay, this is about being emotionally overwhelmed or feeling an empathy overload where you're quite sensitive to what others are feeling, or you may be becoming very aware of a broader perspective or ideal, and you're feeling rather overwhelmed by that because there's a lot of turmoil and uncertainty going on right now. So your team wants to offer you some comfort and clarity today. So let's get started. I pulled the 3 themes that your team of angels, ancestors, and guides want to speak on today regarding what's going on now, the energy you may be attracting in the next 3 months or to the end of the year, and what you may be attracting for the next 6 months. So we'll talk about the frequencies you may be attracting also, and we'll get some advice on what you need to bring your attention to right now. Then we'll pull some tarot to confirm all of it. And we'll finish up with some final advice for you at this time. So first up, what's going on right now? Here we got number 33, soul fragments here. Balance will be restored. So this is confirmation from your guides that yes, we see that things are out of balance right now. We're confirming to you that what you're feeling is right. It is right along the lines of everything being out of balance right now, but it will be restored. So this is about being pulled in a lot of different directions. Your head and your heart space not quite lining up. In fact, there's so much information, so much going on in your head. It's really keeping you from being grounded and paying attention to what's going on really around you personally. So this is about being so far stuck in your head that you're not checking in enough with where you are now in life. You could be daydreaming a lot, but usually this is about a lot of energy in your head space and that not being equally distributed. So we're going to go further into the frequencies that's being attracted right now. But for right now, your team is confirming that yes, people are being pulled in a lot of different directions. A lot of people are feeling quite fragmented right now, not sure if balance will be restored or not or when, but this is your team telling you that it will be restored. You just got to hang on in there. We're going to talk about some things over the next few months that's probably going to help you pull you out of this space where you're in your head all the time and not enjoying some of the things that are in your physical space. So next 3 to 6 months, this came with 2 cards here. And I'll go ahead and pull them both out because they really do relate to each other. So over the next 3 months, we have first came out birth of creation, potential growth. See that? So this is a card, a cue for me to know it's an incubation period. You see how this looks like an egg here. You're in a incubation period over the next 3 months where you're really finding out your potential. And if you have like an idea or something that you've been hanging on to and you feel like it hasn't taken off or you can't find the right time for it, this is a sign for the next 3 months until at least until the end of the year. really go into this incubation period where you can see the full potential of your idea, where you're mapping out everything that's coming out. Because they're asking you during this time also to ground your light. See here, like I said over here, a lot of us are not grounded, being fragmented, pulled in a lot of different directions with all these thoughts and ideas and changes that are going on right now. But this says it's time to let your soul shine. So that means you're in an incubation period for the next 3 months, researching, finding your potential growth, what you want to do, how you're sealing up the rest of this year. Okay. And during that time, you're grounding your light. You're pulling the ego out of it, and you're letting your soul shine. Letting your soul step up front. That means you're tapping in quite often. You're talking to your angels, your ancestors, your guides. You're finding out, you know, um, what you want, as much as you're finding out what you don't want. You're finding out what you want, but also you're keeping yourself grounded and letting your soul be on the front lines. Okay, so that's for the next 3 months or so. That's what we're doing. We're in an incubation period, a growth period, where you're sewing up some things. And during that time, you're going to really be letting your soul shine and keeping yourself grounded at the soul level. Because over the next 6 months into the new year, we have lead the way, light your own path. This card reminds me of the star here in tarot. That's what I think of every time I see this card. But this is saying, by you going in through the end of this year and really grounding yourself and learning how to trust yourself, your guides, what you're hearing. This brings you into a position over the next 6 months where you will be lighting your own path. You will be the star of your own winning story. That's what this is about. This is about being so bright and full and happy with yourself that you can become a beacon and light the way for others. Right there under his horns is the star. It's like, look, this is the way right here. So this is about leading the way. You got the stag here leading the way. Light your own path. Over the next 6 months, you will be in a position where you are the leader of your life. You are in control of your emotions, and how you react is the words that I'm hearing exactly. Because things feel out of control right now, but we're not in control of anything except how we react to what's going on. So we got 2 cards, 2 things that your guides want you to be aware of during the next 3 months. And then we got lead the way here over the next 6 months. You're moving into a position where you truly are the leader of your own destiny. You're working that out. So, okay, so now we're going to go into some frequencies that some help with the frequencies that we are attracting right now and into the next year. I love these cards here. They have chakras, all type of information here. I'm excited to see what's going on right now and what we might be attracting frequency wise. What's the energy that we might be attracting? Or maybe it's telling you, come on, this is what we really need to tap into if you don't feel like you're in that frequency right now. Or it could be telling you what to avoid. But we're going to see where these cards go for now, the energy around us now and into the next year. Okay. Okay. That feels good. empowerment, heart chakra. Look at that. Look at all these greens and blues up in here. I just love that. Tantric journey. Ooh. Going on a journey into this next 6 months here. And look at their fertility under the bottom. Okay. So let's talk about what's going on here now with empowerment. Soul fragments. What's going on right now? Okay. So like I was saying, a lot of people at this time are not quite feeling very empowered in their decisions in that what's going on. This is like tap into the frequency of empowerment right now to help us move through these fragments. We're not feeling like we have very much control when you're in this right here, and this is a good frequency for you to engage when you're not feeling like you're in control. So the frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us with others in deep trust that we are connected through the same source. And that really hits home. I think a lot of people are forgetting that we're all connected. It's in this school, this earth school that they call it, in this universe, color and all of that matters, but souls don't have colors. Once you get here, the little things, so color, age, or age, race, whatever, all that matters. But at the soul level, none of that matters. So right now, your guides are asking you to reach for the power, the frequency of empowerment, that the thing that really supports our ability to show up for ourselves and unites us with others, so we can see that we are from the same source. So what right now, your guides are asking you to really tap into the frequency that we are of one source. We come from one place. No matter how much people want to separate, there is but one creator, and we all came from one place. And this is the frequency that, instead of this fragmented frequency, the empowerment is what we should be reaching for now, finding your power by showing up for yourself. Okay, so heart chakra. Oh, now I'm just looking here. I just love how you see all these cards in this deck. They're different, but different colors, mostly dark blues. But I love how all the greens showed up, and then the heart chakra showed up here, and with the blues and the greens. So look, anytime you're birthing anything, it has to come from the heart if you want to feel fulfilled, and really complete in doing that. You have to take time out to incubate and find out what your heart really wants. So there's a great potential for some growth where you're going to be leading the way on something over this next 6 months. So they ask you to ground your light and tap into your heart chakra. If you don't know anything about chakras, if you never really cared about what's going on, well, this message here is your cue to go ahead and figure out. And you start with the heart chakra, which is the chakra that anybody can start with on any level, because you always connect with your heart. No matter what chakra you're going for, you're connecting through your heart space. You can always connect to God, source, universe through your heart space. You don't need a person or anything for that. So let's see what they're telling you about the heart chakra. The frequency of the heart chakra, the green flower of life, supports our capacity to love deeply and unconditionally. Its healing properties harmonize the mind and the body. So over these next 3 months, you are looking to harmonize your mind and body. Like I said here, mind, heart, and head space out of line right now. We're reaching for that personal empowerment where we show up for ourselves, because over the next 3 months, 3 to 6 months, we are birthing something. We are in an incubation stage where we really need to tap in to that heart chakra, the one that supports our capacity to really love unconditionally. And on top of that, you are healing your mind and body. You were fragmented here. You're going into this incubation period where you will let your soul lead the way so that you can heal whatever else is in your heart that whatever else is clogging up or throwing that imbalance between your heart and your mind. This is the heart chakra is where to go when you're trying to get that heart mind balance there. So that's exciting over the next month. Now, tantric journey over the next month to lead the way. Now, right here, this talks about you really stepping in. This was about the empowerment and how you can show up for yourself. You're proving that through the 3 months that you're really grounding your light and listening to your inner self, and you come out over the next 6 months into leading your own path, or leading the way, lighting your own path. And this could be considered somewhat of a journey. That's what I'm hearing right now. This is your journey into that. And we're going to talk about the tantric journey. The frequency of the tantric journey helps us to unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach a state of wholeness and completion through our sensual experiences with ourselves and with others. Okay, so I'm just going to say this now. On my pre-shuffle for this deck, as I was going through the energies, the Kundalini spirit came out, where you're really working with your chakras and all that. And I thought maybe something like it was going to come out again here, but this right here, I don't know if anybody is familiar with tapping in through your senses using your tantric expressions and everything, but that is a journey within itself. And I think at the core of this is about you reaching a state of wholeness and completion. It doesn't have to have anything to do with tantric or kundalini. The whole over thing, you need to do your research on that, especially if you're interested. But as this is a collective reading, this is talking about you tapping into a state of wholeness and completion. And one way that you can do that is through your sensual experiences, you know. And if you're not with anybody, or you're not trying to get with that's why it's more about tapping into the wholeness. I want to look on what is under the bottom of this deck also. Fertility. Oh my goodness. Right up under the bottom of the deck. But over the next 6 months, you're really going to tap into a journey of wholeness. And you can start using the sensual properties to try to get to know your chakras, maybe some real, super freaks in this collective reading that's really trying to tap in on their tantric journey. If that's the case, and I say super freak because this is a sexual, this is a card about you using your sensual experiences to tap in. That won't apply to everyone, but it is a good way to start. Do some research on really how to tap into your tantric frequency there. But now we're going to see what we need to pull our attention to right now. Just some advice. So we're trying to get empowerment using our heart chakra or whatever else. And see, this is about just feeling something on a whole new level. It's a journey where you're really finding out what you like, who you love, what's going on, what I don't like, what I won't accept for myself, be it, sensual or not, Overall, it's about the hidden knowledge and wisdom that's locked inside of you. How you unlock it is totally up to you. So let's get some advice. Well, something that you need to bring your attention to right now. Your attention, please. Let's do that. All right. Your attention, please. Listen. Listen carefully. Let's get your attention on this. You're being asked to listen to your inner voice. It's been guiding you to do something or say something, and it's time to act on its wisdom. So bring your attention to your inner voice right now. There may be some people out there in the collective that have really wanted to start, their own channel, or do something to where they should be giving guidance or should be talking to other people. But this is saying you're being asked to say something, and it's time to act on that wisdom. So overall, though, your spiritual team wants you to bring your attention to your inner voice. You know, that's what this incubation period is here for. You're grounding your light. You're not letting your soul. You're letting your soul take charge of who you are. You're listening in here. So please bring your attention to your inner voice. Is what your team is asking you to do right now. So let's pull some tarot to see, how this all lines up. See, let's get some confirmation from tarot. This is my angel deck here. Angels, ancestors, and guides are here to offer comfort and clarity. I got my angel deck here to give us some more insight on what's going on. I'm just glad to be here in this space, feeling all the gratitude of me just being so comfortable with what I do. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming in today. You're being asked. And I keep thinking about this under here with this fertility here. The frequency of fertility invites us to become more open, more courageous, more creative, and more joyful than we were before. It activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a grander expression of ourselves. I really just keep thinking, I think this is that's why I was got to kind of look up under the bottom of this deck. I haven't felt that for any of these, but fertility with this tantric journey, it's letting you know right here that you're trying to be, you're trying to find that hidden knowledge, that unlock that hidden knowledge about yourself. And this invites you to be more open in doing so, more creative, more playful, feeling that spirit of fertility. So that's really good to be feeling that over the next 6 months. So I'm going to cut the deck here. And then I am going to see what it got to say for tarot. Okay. Two of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, Four of Wands, the World, the Angel of Success, Three of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune, Angel of Destiny. Okay. And on the bottom, Seven of Wands, challenges. That's where we are. This is the overall energy of what's going on. Challenges, of course. We got some challenges going on right now, but we're being asked to really listen to that inner voice through these challenges. So under empowerment, under soul fragments, where we are and what we're reaching for right now, we have the Two of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. The Two of Wands is about progress. It says that right here. The Eight of Pentacles being about dedication. So the Two of Wands is the planning stage. This is you really trying to go in and plan for that progression in your life. It's from a spiritual, this here is from a spiritual place that you are really planning to some type of movement or progression in your life here. And the Eight of Pentacles brings in that dedication that you need. So they're really asking you here to be, dedicated in your planning process as you're moving in and you're really reaching for this empowerment here. That because of what we're going through now, feeling quite powerless. So right now, feeling quite powerless, looking for our planning planning to be, to move through this. And that's the Four of Wands here. This is freedom and success here. These two cards lining up under your heart chakra lets me know that this is your way to freedom here with the angel of success coming here. The Four of Wands also talks about, like a celebration or a commitment on the soul level, really being committed to something. So that's why they're like, go into your incubation period, activate your heart chakra, go in through your heart, do this from the heart, let your soul shine, and that will bring you the reward, the feeling of celebration here. And the world is the end of tarot. This is a completion card here. They're like, you're completing. So that tells me these last 3 months is like completing, rounding up, finishing up, whatever it is in this incubation period that you need to go through to complete and finish up. Because over the next 6 months here, it's going to be a lot of action. You're going to be leading the way. You're really this coming in with light your own path, go deep and find that state of wholeness here on the soul level. Even if you got to go in through your tantric journey, however you got to do it, you going in and you're looking for that frequency of fertility that really invites you to be more open and creative, where it shows up in that right here, because here's action here in the angel of destiny. The wheel of fortune lets you know that that's the big what goes around comes around type card, but it's also a card of luck and fortune. So if you have been putting it out toward the end of this year into next year, this is it coming back to you. This is destiny. The angel of destiny talks about what you get, what you put out comes back to you. So they're asking you to bring that action here with the Three of Pentacles being here. This is about you really not only planning, but also having partnerships, laying coins, planting seeds. Now, this is the beginning of you really taking those steps to plant the seeds toward your freedom or your fertile life there, or whatever. This is really good. The Two of Wands, you start out with right now saying, hey, I know I need to progress. I know I need to become more dedicated to my spiritual self in here, what I'm trying to create. And you move into really trying to, really learning to tap into your heart chakra to find that freedom and free up whatever else is holding you back. Get it off of you. Complete that cycle of by the end of the year, where you know who you are and you can trust what you feel, because you've been tapping in here during these next 3 months. Because over the next 6 months coming into that, this is a fertility stage where you're really leading the way on your own path. You found that wisdom, that intrinsic knowledge. This is not about sex. This is about intrinsic knowledge on the soul level. How you get it could be through sensual acts, but that's not what it's about exactly, because this is about destiny right here. Moving into destiny, you planning here, and by the time the 6 months is up, there's action. You go from the 2 to the 3. Look at that. As a matter of fact, you got 2, 3, and 4 here. And that's a true progression, moving from the 2s where you're planning into the 3s where there's action, into the 4s where there's where it comes in for you. So yeah, that's very, very good. Wait a minute, around here. Yeah, 3 of Pentacles. So anyway, that sounds good. 7 of Wands. And the Sun, oh, look at there. So going from challenges to happiness. Look at that. That's the overall meaning of this. Going from challenges to the angel of happiness, where you are really the Sun is about clarity, about, everything coming to the light, and you being able to deal with that. So yeah. So let's get some final advice for what's going on right now. So I want you to bring your attention to your inner voice. That's what this message is about. Your team is talking to you. And you may not be in a position being up in your head and blocking out your heart. You may not be in a position to where you can hear what your team has to say. Well, how do you fix that? You go in through your heart chakra. You learn everything you need to know about your heart chakra over the next 3 months. If you're starting at base, you learn everything you need to know about your heart chakra, and you go into your incubation period where you are letting your soul shine, letting your soul take the front so you can hear what your guides are saying to you. So let's get some final advice. We're going to go some final advice for each one of these. No, I think I'll just pull one. I guess I will just pull one. All right. We're at receive. Receive. You're being asked to be open to receiving universal gifts. These could come in the form of love, money, compliments, healing energy, and universal wisdom. Know that you're worthy of these gifts and open up to them. Okay. That's what this whole thing about. That's what this whole incubation period is about right here. Being learning to be open to receive. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And you're sewing up. So what I'm hearing now is a lot of you are sewing up the end of an era where you didn't know how to receive. You still don't know how to receive, but this is sewing it up, the end of it. This could be money. It could be love. It could be healing energy. So, when you're closed off, you don't receive anything. You don't receive the good or the bad. If you're in this heightened thing where you're protecting your energy all the time and you don't associate with anybody, you're blocking your blessings that way. You're not open to receive, so this entire journey is about this collective learning how to be open to receive and knowing that you are worthy of these gifts. That's how you open up to them. I am worthy of the things that God, Source, Universe is trying to bless me with. I'm doing the work. I'm empowering myself. I'm going in through my heart chakra. I'm seeing the intrinsic wisdom and how I can be more open. You're asked to be open here. You're asked to be open here. The final message for you is to please work on being open to receiving the universal gifts and knowing that you're worthy to receive them. Okay? All right. So I think that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for joining me. This was fun. I hadn't done anything in a while with the collective. So you guys take care. Bye.